Paul, before we look ahead to the weekend, big game on the weekend, just a little bit of reflection on the away game against Maidstone last weekend. What were your thoughts?
Disappointment. Previous games I thought we'd played, our performance levels had been good. The results hadn't been, but performance levels had been. I felt on Saturday was just a little bit, can't quite put my finger on it. I feel like Maidstone played the game, top of the table game, better than us. We were prepared and fully, players were fully briefed in what to expect from Maidstone. And I'm not sure we quite did enough, you know. I didn't see them scoring second half. First half, I thought they would. They were dangerous first half. Second half, we stepped into the game a little bit better. I'm not saying the goal was against a run of play, far from it, but we definitely didn't do enough to win the game. I think 0-0 would have been the best result we could have got on that day. So, yeah, we were disappointed. It's been a disappointing trip home. It felt like a long weekend as it does when you lose a game of football. But there's lots of games to play. But overall, we were disappointed. Yeah.
Has it taken much to lift the players this week?
No, not at all. They're a resilient bunch. Listen, I've got to choose my words very carefully. It's not a case of we let people down. I don't think that at all. Far from it. We didn't play well. We didn't play well. It wasn't through lack of effort. It was. I thought, unlike us recently, I mean, we didn't create any chances. We had a couple of long-range shots. I thought our play in the final third was poor from our forward players. Set pieces were poor. Decision making was poor. So look, it wasn't a great afternoon for us.
You mentioned there about the effort being there. Results last few games haven't been what you would have wanted, or the fans
of course
will have wanted.
Yeah.
I guess it's $1 million question, is it? What do you put that down to at the moment? This little run that you're on.
Listen, we're on a blip. You know, it's I think. So we haven't been clinical enough in front of goal. That's the overriding factor. We've lost the last two games 1-0. We're not getting beat 4-5-0. We're not conceding loads of chances. I think it's a case of, I say it all the time, just stay, don't get too high, don't get too low. This happens in a season, especially over 46 games. We all want that constant of just there all the time. It does go up and down. It's football. I think when you put it in perspective, there's the 14 games that we went unbeaten. If in that 14 games, say we'd lost the 5th game we'd lost the 9th game and we'd won on Saturday, you'd be on the same points, but people going, you're on an all right run. It's you know, the results haven't been what we want from the last 4 games. We know that. We've had back-to-back defeats for the first time. So that's something the players are going to have to deal with, because no one wants to lose 3 on the trot, that's for sure. We're having a blip. It's important to believe in the process, believe in what we're doing. The boys are working hard, and it will change. We'll come out of that blip. It's football, it's human nature, it happens.
How do you get back on the winning wagon then on the weekend?
Score more than them. Look, we've got to believe in what we're doing. I don't want to sit here and. It takes a long time to build a football team from scratch, and we're going to have really good days, and we're going to have days where we're as a football club and as fans and as players and as management, we're disappointed. That's the game we're in. It's the game we all love. It's never plain sailing. You know, it will change. We just keep working, keep believing in it. Stick to what if you believe in that process when you're winning games, you have to believe in that process when you're not. You can't overreact. You can't make drastic decisions. You must stay calm. No, there's no one more disappointed in me than when we lose a game of football. I've been in professional football now for 30 years, and I think it's getting worse for me. We ask my missus. It's life's not great on the weekends. You know, it's. I hate it. Absolutely despise losing games of football. We'll come through it. We'll be all right.
And what you're expecting from Eastbourne then?
Eastbourne don't concede many goals. They're a threat from set pieces, which is, I sound like a broken record on that, the teams we're playing against. They're on a good run as well. I think they're 11 unbeaten. But, you know, we're going to have a big crowd again. I'm really thankful we're at home. It's great to be back out here. You know, the support we get here, and away, by the way, but the support we get here is phenomenal. You can feel it. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. Tough game. They're well managed. I get on well with Adam very well. We're ready.
Any fresh injury concerns at all, Paul?
Yeah. Jordan Dyer and Jay Forson are both going to be out for the next 4 weeks, which is a huge blow. Jordan Young and Will Jenkins-Davis are 50-50 at best. And Manny Ilasamni, he's having a scan today in Derby. He's obviously a lone player, and he looks very doubtful for the weekend as well. He won't be involved in the weekend. So for the first time all season, we've had the adversity of a lot of injuries. Again, as part of football, it's disappointing. We want everyone fit all the time, of course. I'm disappointed with two of the subs who came on Saturday have got hamstring issues, which I don't know if they've warmed up properly or they're ready to go into a high tempo game. So I'm disappointed in that. What it does, it stretches the squad to the limits, but boys who are going to play, who haven't been playing, we've got injuries, we need to put 11 people on the pitch. That's their chance to show to me, I'm playing. Don't let anyone take the shirt off them. When you get in that team, your shirt is everything. You don't let anyone take it off you. You've got to fight and bite and scratch and everything you can to keep hold of that shirt. It's a massive opportunity for players.
Well, good luck for the weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You say the squad's going to be stretched. I mean, that is disappointing, isn't it? Jordan Dyer is one of the key figures in the run.
Yeah.
Obviously he was injured a bit earlier on in the season. And then Jay Folston as well. That's two of your key four at the back.
Yeah.
So I know Ed Palmer can come in, and you've got Finley as well. Do you have to retrain that back four, if you know what I mean? Do you have to work on that back four afresh?
I think we always coach that anyway.
Yeah.
We always coach the defensive principles. My defensive principles won't change from when I very first started coaching.
So they know what they're doing.
I would like to think so, yeah. So when we do coach that, everyone has a go at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone, maybe at something like JT's been playing left back, so you work on that. I said defensively, I think we've been okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We haven't been conceding loads of chances. The goals every goal we concede's annoying and poor. We get like Saturday's goal, someone's got to go and step to the ball and block it, We let him travel too far and he hits. It's a great hit, but someone's got to go and get a block, So it's stuff that we always work on, Rich, anyway. And whatever defenders we are available, whichever defenders we go with, I'm fully confident we'll be okay.
And of course you played it back through this season as well. So
we have at times, yeah. So, we could, something possibly look at. I don't know. We'll see who's fit and available, and we'll come up with something. But you're quite right. Jordan Dyer and Jay Forson are two real big blows. But again, it's what's happened. And
it's football, isn't it?
It's football. It's football, and it's about those players staying very positive and trying to get back fit as quick as possible.
What's Jay's injury? Yeah,
Jay's got thigh strain.
It's a muscle injury.
So he his previous injury that he got against
home game, wasn't it?
Yep, Hemel Hempstead.
Yeah.
On the 21st of December, that was a knee injury.
Yeah.
He's recovered from that.
Right.
He pulled his thigh against Slough on the Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And we found out today it's worse than first expected,
yeah.
Which is obviously disappointing news, not just for us, but for Jay as well.
Yeah. And Manny's, what's his...
Hamstring.
Really? Yeah.
Hamstring,
Right.
yeah. Again,
Okay.
disappointing.
Carry on, I'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, it's a difficult spell, this, isn't it? Do you think that automatic promotion's still on the cards, or might the playoffs be a bit more realistic now?
It's massively on the cards, I think. I would say there would be, I mean, you might not agree. I would say there would be 7 teams who would be sat here today saying they've got a chance of winning the league. Absolutely. With 17 games to go, I think to settle for any less would be a little bit, what's the word? A little bit negative of me, I think. So we go into every game confident, and we go into every game wanting to win it. We've just been on a great run. We're not on a great run now. We're going to have to go on a great run again. I think whoever wins the league, Clive, is going to have to go on a great run because it's so tight. I think we're 4 points behind Dorking. I think there's a couple of games in hand. We're 3 points behind others with a game in hand. We're level on. There's a couple of teams above us on the same games. Everyone's got to play each other. We've got to play 2 of them in the next 2 games. Everyone's got to play each other. Everyone will drop points. I think there's too far to go really to settle for a position in the league. I mean, you could flip it. The teams in the bottom 4, I'm sure they're thinking we've got 70 games to get out of it. So there's a lot of points to play for. A long way to go, I think.
I was just going to ask you about. Sorry, Dave.
No.
I was going to ask you about Worthing on Tuesday night. Obviously, going to be a tough game.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Obviously, not the back 4 that ideally you'd like to be able to put out on the park. What do you want to see the players do differently there than they did when they went there before?
Everything. It was a tough afternoon. We got mauled. I'd like to think the team talk takes care of itself. Let's get through Eastbourne first. Hopefully, with touch wood, no more injuries, and we'll cross that bridge on Tuesday. But yeah, I mean, on their day, they're a hell of a team.
Great, thank you.
All right, mate.
Going on from Clive's question, the mere fact is it 10 or 11 different teams have topped the table so far? I think is it 11?
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, would indicate that unless somebody discovers a run of form that we haven't seen, several of the teams at the top are in good form at the moment.
Yeah.
They are on good runs at the moment.
Yeah.
But the fact that so many different teams have topped the table, so many of them are still within range of 3-4 points of being top of the table.
Yeah.
If that trend continues and teams do keep taking points off it and drop it, it could be very, very tight right the way through to the final. In fact, there's no reason to suppose it won't be.
No, I think you're right. I think the way it's going at present, you would argue that it's going to go right to the last 5 minutes of the last game.
Yeah.
I think the teams that are up there are all of a very similar level. Last year, we spoke about last year, Yeovil were far and away the best team. They ran away, they were great.
Yeah.
That obviously hasn't happened so far this season. That's not to say someone will go and win the next 10 games and blow the league apart. We don't know.
Until Tuesday night, Boreham Wood were top of the table, or went to top of the table the previous weekend, and they'd lost 2 games on the trot just before.
Yeah.
At Worthing and home to Chippenham.
Yeah.
They must have been going through the same mental things that what are we doing now?
Yeah.
As the situation that we're in.
Yeah, it's
and if we look hard enough, we probably find out another couple of teams in that top group also went and dropped 3 or 4 points.
I mean, it's...
Is it a cup half full or cup half empty thing? Because a fortnight ago we were unbeaten in 14 games and we were, within touching distance of going back to the top of the table, and then all of a sudden you only take 2 points from 4 matches. It looks like a complete disaster, doesn't it? In some way, it doesn't to you because you try not to look at it like that. But it can be a cup half empty, half full thing, can't it?
Yeah, I think that depends on your personality as a person. It's I always deal with facts. So that we haven't got the results we needed or wanted in the last 4 games. But that's history. They're done. You know, you're almost sat there now going, you're almost breaking it down into a 17-game season. You know, it's I don't see that. I've been a victim of this before as a player and as a harping on about what's happened. If only we didn't concede that goal against Slough in the last seconds. If only we didn't hit the bar twice against St Albans. It ain't going to change.
No.
It ain't going to change. It's a waste of energy. It's you've got to stay positive.
Yeah.
You've got to stay positive.
Yeah. I think it's when the team lost at Mason last Saturday, didn't play very well.
Yeah.
Setback. The previous 3 matches, you were still trying to work out how you hadn't won at St Albans. You've led in injury time at Slough, and we've probably played the best football that you've played at home in terms of passing against Hampton and Richmond.
Yeah.
And you come out of it with 2 points. When in fact you were saying last week, and I think we were all agreeing it could easily have been 9.
Yeah.
It's sort of one of those swings, isn't it? It just
I think
you have to be able to handle it.
You don't always get what you deserve in life and in football. You don't always get what you deserve. I don't think we deserved to beat Maidstone on Saturday. But the previous games, I think you're spot on in your analysis of those 3 games. But I think we've got a great game coming up Saturday. Great game. Boys can't wait for it. You know, the playing at Plainmoor in front of the fans is it does give us a boost. It does. It's terrific. We're looking forward to it. I think it's, you know, there's going to be ups and downs. We're brand new. I don't want to keep saying that because people think that's all it. But we are. Yeah. It's a fact.
After the St Albans, Slough and Maidstone, all away games, and you mentioned, I think, that one of the things that encouraged you a little bit from all of those games was not what happened in the matches, what happened afterwards on the coach and in the dressing room. The players were getting into each other, if that's the right phrase, on a more better than they'd been doing before.
Yeah.
Did that continue at Maidstone on the way back, or were they a little bit quieter and flatter?
I always like to answer you very truthfully.
Yeah.
It was quiet.
Yeah.
It was a flat change room and it was a flat.
Which probably annoyed you more.
Well, do you know what? I think when silence is golden sometimes, you know, that they're reflecting on, you know, what they didn't do in the game. I think, and it's that word, isn't it? Disappointment. But you can't carry disappointment. You can't. It's just, it holds you back. It's negative energy. It's no good for anyone. You know, stay calm. Reactions can be very up and down. You know, it was disappointing. It was quiet, but Monday in training they weren't quiet. We've trained really well.
And I think we touched on it last week. Matt Jay's had a second game with us now.
Yeah.
What's he bringing to the squad? Not just in matches, but in training. I'm sure you are encouraged by what you've seen from him.
I've been thrilled with him. He'll only get better and better as he gets fitter and fitter. Biggest thing that's impressed me is his leadership skills. It's interesting you say about the bus, but MJ was, in his own way, he's been there and done it, and I could see him definitely chatting to a few of the younger boys on the way home. You know, just giving them a little bit of whatever it was, bit of advice, pep talk, encouragement. You know, just saying to them, listen, just get in training Monday and we'll work hard. It's a horrible side of being involved in football is dealing with disappointment, because it happens. Hopefully, it happens less here than at other clubs. But you disappointment, it's a brutal thing to deal with. I think as you get older, you deal with it better. I'm not sure I actually do. I'm not sure that's a great quality of mine. But it's you have to deal with disappointment, because it's never going to be plain sailing. And that's not just in football, by the way. And this is without sounding all. That's life, isn't it?
Philosophical. Yeah,
it's life, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you have good days, you have bad days. You have tough times, you have good times. Football's exactly the same. And all stick together, and there's no crisis. Jeez, we're in a good place in the league. Do you know what I mean? We've had a disappointing couple of results. You know, we all know that. There's no hiding from it. But we'll get back on track.
And you drew at Eastbourne 1-1.
Yeah.
1-1. I wasn't there, but memories were that it wasn't a great game.
No.
Has their team changed very much since we played them? And you've already touched on how few goals they tend to concede.
Yeah, they're defensively very strong. Yeah.
Yeah. Has there been many changes? And what's their usual approach? Should we expect them to come and...
Well, as I said, I think that Muzz has signed a few players, definitely. They're hard to break down. They're a big threat from set pieces. They have the standard long throw. They're physical. They've got pace as well. So, look, it's going to be a tough game, as it always is. But we're really, really looking forward to it. We can't wait for the game.
No. Because Adam, he played here for Torquay.
Yeah.
He's a very, very skillful, classy player.
Yeah.
Is he another example of a manager who actually gets his teams playing differently to the way he used to?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I see. He'll probably watch us. I see some of his stuff on Instagram. He can still play a bit. Definitely.
Oh yeah, some of those training sessions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he can still play a bit. I can't kick a ball anymore. That's for sure.
No,
my bunions won't let me do that.
Yeah, he wouldn't be the first manager that was a very classy footballer.
He was an excellent footballer.
That made his teams very.
Yeah, he was an excellent footballer.
Very tough to bit. In other words, the teams they manage aren't necessarily in the same mould that they
yeah, we're in for a tough game, but like I said, it's a challenge we're really, really looking forward to. We can't wait.